This is Module 1, Lesson 2. In this lesson, we'll be recognizing a digit represents 10 times the value of what it represents in the place to its right. For this lesson, we're going to be using the place value chart that comes with Lesson 2, the template that comes with Lesson 2. And this is a larger place value chart than the one we used in Lesson 1. But we're going to start by labeling the units that we talked about in Lesson 1. So we have the ones place, the tens units, hundreds, and thousands. Now starting with the thousands, we're going to look at the equation of 10 times 1,000. So we're going to go to the thousands place and we're going to make 10 times. We started with 1,000. We're going to make 10 times 1,000. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the unit is thousands and we did it 10 times. And we know that when we have 10 of a unit, we can exchange it for the next larger unit. So 10 1,000s, we got 10 thousands, and that gives us the next unit that's actually called 10 thousands. And in words, unit form, 10 thousands. So 10 times 1,000 equals 10 thousands, which we can write in standard form as 10,000. All right, we're going to erase everything but the headings. We're going to keep our headings here. And now this time we're going to do 10 times 10 thousands, our new unit that we just put on our table. So we're going to start with a 10,000 and we're going to do it 10 times. Sorry, this is, yes, that's right. 10 times 1 10,000. So we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times 1,000, that gives us 10 10,000s. So here we see we have 10 10,000s, which we can group together and exchange for the next larger unit. And that larger unit is 100,000. In unit form, 100 thousands. So we have 10 10,000s, and that is equal to 100,000. When we write it in unit form, or 100,000 when we write it in standard form. All right, again, let's erase what we just did, leaving our headings. And then we're going to complete the table with 10 times 100,000. So let's do 100,000. That's the 100,000, and then we're going to do 10 times. And so we end up with 10 100,000s. And when we group that together and move it to the next highest place value, we have 1 million. So this is our millions. So as we multiply by 10, we're moving from right to left in the table, and each one is 10 times more than the one to the right. Again, let's erase what we just did and leave our headings. And now we're going to look to solve a different problem. Let's say we want to do 10 times 4 10,000s. So we'll start with our 4 10,000s. We find our 10,000s units and we do 4 of them. And then we're going to do this 10 times. So we have 4 10,000s, 10 times, so that gives us 40 10,000s. And when we put them in groups of 10 and exchange them for the next highest place value, 10,000s is 100,000. 10 more is another 100,000. 10 more is another 100,000. And 10 more is another 100,000. So in unit form, we now have 4 100,000s. And in standard form, we can write that as 400,000. And let's erase again, leaving our headings. The problems we looked at so far have all been multiplication problems. In multiplication problems, we're grouping smaller units into larger units in groups of 10, but we can also do division this way. In division, we're taking a larger valued unit and breaking it into 10 smaller valued units. Let's take the problem 2000s divided by 10. So let's start with the 2000s. Now in dividing by tens, we're going to move down to the next smaller unit. So we're going to go to hundreds. And 1,000 is equal to 10 hundredths. So we're going to exchange this for 10 hundredths. And exchange this one for 10 hundredths. So now we have 10 20 hundredths. And we're going to divide it into 10 equal size groups. So let's circle those groups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've taken our 20 hundredths and we divided them into 10 equal size groups. And we see what we have in each group is 2 hundredths, or in standard form, 2 hundredths. Let's erase this. Now we're going to look at numbers that have mixed units. So far we've looked at numbers with only one unit. Now we're going to look for ones with mixed units. Let's take 3 hundredths and 2 tens as our first number. And we're going to put a parenthesis to show it's a single number. And we're going to multiply by 10. So let's show this on our place value chart. So we have 3 hundreds and 2 tens. That's our original number. And then we're going to multiply by 10. So we're going to do this 10 times. And 10 times 300s, then we can group 10 hundreds together to make 1,000, and another 10 to make another 1,000, and the final 10 to make another 1,000. So here we have 3,000s, or in standard forms, 3,000. Now we're going to do the same thing with the tens. We're multiplying by tens. So now we have 2 tens 10 times. So 10 tens is 100. And another 10 tens. So now we have 2 hundreds, or 200. So 3,000 and 200s, 3,200. So our answer here would be 3,200. 300s and 2 tens times 10 is 3,200. Now, we could show this again, but in a little more simplified drawing by leaving out the dots. So let's see what that would look like. If we start with our original number of 300 and 2 tens, instead of drawing 10 dots, we could simply draw an arrow and say that we're multiplying by 10. We know that 100 times 10 is 1,000. And we're going to multiply the next one also by 10 to give us 1,000. And the last 100 by 10 to give us 1,000. So here we have 3,000. We can do the same thing with the tens. 110 times 10 is 100. Another 10 times 10 is another 100. So we have 200s. So our total product is 3,200. Now this model is easier to draw, but if it's confusing or if you get lost in it, definitely go back and actually make the dots before you start using this simplified model. Let's look at that approach, but this time with division. So we're going to erase everything but the headings here. Alright, so we're going to try this with a division problem. So our number is going to be 4 10,000s and 2 tens divided by 10. So we're going to start by showing 4 10,000s and 2 tens and we're going to divide by moving to the smaller units. So we're going to take one 10,000 and we're going to break it into 10,000s. And the next 10,000 and break it into 10,000s. And the next one and break it into 10,000s. And the final. And now we're going to take those 40 10,000s and divide them by 10. So we're going to put them into groups of 4, 8, 10 equal sized groups of 4. So 4 10,000s divided by 10, we see in one group, we have 4,000. Do the same thing with the tens and break them into ones. So now we have 21s. 2 tens becomes 21s. We're going to put them into 10 equal sized groups. So we see in each group we have 2. So 4 10,000, 2 tens divided by 10 would be 4,200. Or in unit form, 4,000s and 2 ones. Okay, we're going to use this to do some problems in our problem set. So find the lesson 2 problem set. And as we did in lesson 1, we'll do the first one together. Then you're going to pause the video. You're going to work the next problem by yourself. And then you'll restart the video to compare your answer with the one that's on the video. And every time you do a new problem, you'll pause it, try it, and then check your answer. So the direction here says, as you did during the lesson, label and represent the product or the quotient by drawing dis on the place value chart. Remember, product is what we get when we multiply. A quotient is the answer we get when we divide. So we're going to start by labeling our place value chart. We always need to do that. We always need to be aware of the units that we're using. We start with 2,000s, and we're doing it 10 times. And then how many thousands do we have now? We have 10, 10, a total of 20,000. And in standard form, that's 20,000, or that's a standard. 20,000s in unit form written this way is in standard form. All right, pause the video and try B. Again, we're going to label the place value chart. And we're starting with 3 10,000s. I'm going to do it 10 times. So counting our 10,000s now, we have 30 10,000s. So if we exchange them for the next higher value, you can see we have 300,000s or 300,000. Pause the video and try C. Again, let's label our place value chart. We start with 4,000s, and we see we're doing a dividing by 10. So this time we're breaking our 1,000 down into the next smaller place value of hundreds. So when we divide 4,000 divided by 10, we see we now have 40 hundreds that we're going to divide by 10. So let's divide by 10 into 10 equal size groups. And so we have 400 in each group. Moving on to number 2. Now for this one, we have an expression, and then we're going to write it in unit form, which is the word form, and standard form, which is the regular way we normally write numbers. So the first expression is 10 times 6 tens. So in unit form, that would be 60 tens. And in standard forms, 60 tens is 600. So pause the video and finish the rest of this chart. And then when you're finished, restart the video and compare your answers. So for number 2, we have 70 hundreds, which is 7,000. For number 3, we're dividing. So 3,000s divided by 10 would be 300s. 300. For the next one, 6 10,000s divided by 10 would be 6,000s. 6,000. 10 times 4,000s would be 40,000s. In standard form, that's 40,000. Okay, moving on to number 3, we're going to do the same thing, except that this time we're starting with numbers that are written in mixed units. So we have 4 tens times 10, that would be 400s. Would be 40 tens, which is equal to 400s. And then 3 ones times 10 would end up with 3 tens. And if we write that in standard form, that would be 430. Okay, pause the video and try the rest of the table by yourself. This would become 2,000s and 300s, which is 2,300. Then 7,000s, 800s times 10 would be 7 10,000s. and 8 thousandths. That would be 78,000. 6,000 4 tens divided by 10. 6 thousandths divided by 10 would be 6 hundredths. 4 tens divided by 10 would be 4 ones. So standard form would be 604. Then 4 ten thousandths and 3 tens divided by 10. 4 ten thousandths divided by 10 would be 4 thousandths. And 3 tens divided by 10 would be 3 ones. So in standard form would be 4,003. So for number 4, you're going to explain how you got 10 times 4,000. So that would be this problem here. So you're going to use a place value chart to explain how you got this answer. So pause the video and try that. Okay, let's draw our place value chart. And we're going to start with 4 thousandths, and we're multiplying it 10 times. So as an explanation, 4 times 4 thousandths is equal to 40 thousandths. And then we're going to exchange 10 thousandths for 1 10,000. So let's do that. So now we have 4 10,000ths which equals 40,000, which is what we got up here. Okay, moving on. For number 5, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to explain how you solved 4 10,000 3 tens divided by 10 using a place value chart. So pause your video and try that. So again, we need a place value chart. And we start with 4 10,000s and 3 tens. And this time, instead of drawing all the dots, I'm going to use the shorthand way we talked about before. So I'm going to divide by 10. And so I know each of these 10,000s, when I divide by 10, is going to be 1,000. So now I have 4,000. I'm going to do the same thing with the tens. I'm going to divide by 10 to get 1, and divide by 10 to get 1. So I have 2 ones. So my answer would be 4,002. So I'm going to decompose each 10,000 to thousands and divide by 10, and then I'm going to decompose I'm decomposing now each 10 to ones and then divide by 10. So I have 4,000 plus 2 equals 4,200. All right, number 6. Now we're going to solve a couple of word problems. Jacob saved $2,000 bills, $400 bills, and 6 $10 bills to buy a car. The car costs 10 times as much as he saved. How much does the car cost? So pause the video and try this one, and then check your answer once you've finished. Okay, our full number is 2 thousands, four hundreds, and 6 tens. And we need 10 times that. So let's do each separately. So 2 thousands times 10 would be 20,000. 400s times 10 would be 4,000. And 6 tens times 10 would be 600. So if we add these together, we get $24,600. And if we're going to answer in a complete sentence, the car costs $24,600. Instead of an equation, you could also show this in a place value chart, whatever works for you. Remember to answer the question that was asked in a complete sentence. Okay, and finally try number 7. Okay, number 7 says, last year the apple orchard experienced a drought and did not produce many apples. But this year, the apple orchard produced 45,000 Granny Smith apples and 900 Red Delicious apples, which is 10 times as much as the year before. How many apples did the orchard produce last year? So if this is 10 times what they did last year, then these numbers together divided by 10 would give us 4,590. So last year, the orchard produced 4,590 apples. And our last problem, number 8, is 2 parts. Start with the first one. Planet Ruba has a population of 1 million aliens. Planet Zamba has 100,000 aliens. How many more aliens does planet Ruba have than planet Zamba? So pause the video and try that one. Okay, we know that on our place value chart, 1 million is equal to 10 times 100,000. These are equivalent. When we have 100,000, 10 times we have 1 million. So we're looking at 1 million being 100,000 being 10 times 100 million. So how many more does planet Roomba have than planet Zamba? We would have 1 million minus 100,000. So we would have 900,000. And answering in a complete sentence, planet Ruba has 900,000 more aliens than planet Zamba. And for B, take a moment to write that comparison of the two planets using the words 10 times as many. Okay, the population of planet Ruba is 10 times as many as planet Zamba. And basically our equation up here says the same thing as an equation, and this says it in word form using 10 times as many as. And that concludes lesson 2.